Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Falcon here again for another very interesting video. And today we are going to be doing another Tekken 7 tier list video. And last time we talked about difficulty tier lists in my opinion, which characters I thought were easy, which characters were hard. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And this time I decided that I just want to do a normal, strong, weak tier list. And I was actually going to do this tier list a while ago, maybe like a month ago or two, but I still wasn't super confident on who to place where. And even now, I'm not confident with a couple of characters because I'm not really good with them. But, now after really looking and playing with basically almost everyone in the roster, I think I have an idea of who goes where and what character specializes in what. So, let's just get started. But actually, before we do start, my next tier list video, I do want to let everybody know, will be a Soul Calibur tier list. I know some people have really been wanting me to do a Soul Calibur tier list. I'm still not very confident in a Soul Calibur tier list yet, but after a while, I think I definitely will be confident because that game is definitely not as bloated as this game is. And yeah, I'll definitely do a Soul Calibur tier list next. I don't know what it'll be on, if it'll be like strength or difficulty. It might be a difficulty tier list because I'm not 100% sure about strengths of every single character yet until I play them. So as of right now, I do want to focus on Tekken, but I'm pretty confident. So we can get started. So let's just get into it. So we're going to start with S tier, where I have Jin, Akuma, Alyssa, Paul, Steve, Leroy, Fahkumram, Marduk, and Julia. Jin, super all-around character. I mean, he doesn't really have a weakness in my opinion. He basically specializes in anything. He's just one of the most versatile characters in the game. The only thing I could say that he's lacking is range on his 10 and 12 frame punishes. He doesn't have good range on his 2, 4, and 1+2 punishes. That is a problem. So if you do block a move that is minus 10 or 12 with pushback, Jin will have a hard time punishing that. But that's really the main weakness I can have for the character. And he can be vulnerable to sidestep right, if not for the fact that he has amazing homing moves like standing 4 and while standing 3, or Zen 3. I mean, he has great pokes, he's got solid mids, he's got lows, he's got an electric, he's got combos, wall travel. He basically has everything. Oh, he has a complete throw game. That's always good to have. His rage stuff is pretty good. He's just overall a super strong character. He isn't easy to play though. You have to know exactly what you're using. You need to know what you're doing to play Jin well. If you don't know what you're doing, then you're going to have a really hard time playing with Jin. He has a lot of very complicated things, and he also takes good execution. So, but once you have all that stuff, Jin is just easily one of the best characters in the game. Easily. And this isn't in any particular order of, I'm not saying that Jin is the best character in the game, because honestly right now, I don't think he is anymore. But this is just, characters in order. This is not in order, if you guys are wondering that. It's not. And next, I have Akuma. Akuma is super strong. He's got some of the most ridiculous 50-50s in the game. He's got amazing panic moves. His punishment, especially if you have meter, is just probably the best in the game. His combo damage is ridiculous. And he even has some pokes, some mids, like mid pokes, like forward 3, down forward 1. Even though down forward 1's not the best, it's still something for a character like him. But overall, he just doesn't play Tekken. He's not a Tekken character. He basically doesn't play the rules of the game. He can jump around all over the place. He can get out of things that some characters can't get out of, which is pretty ridiculous. His DP, really good. His dick jab is one of the best in the game. I don't even know why he still has this, because they did nerf Geese's dick jab, but Akuma still keeps his. Don't really understand that, but it is what it is. But the thing with Akuma, though, is you do need God tier execution. God tier. He's very hard to play. But if you have that execution in the mind games, this character will blow you up. He will blow you up if you don't know the matchup. And most people don't know the Akuma matchup. No one plays, who plays Akuma? If we're talking about, let's say, in ranked battle. I never see him. You see him a lot in pro play, but not in ranked battle. So, yeah, most people just get stomped by Akumas. And he's very good. But he does have weaknesses. Like, one, you do need meter. He does rely a lot on meter. And his movement just seems sluggish to me. He has a very poor sidestep. His sidestep is worse than the average character, so he can have a hard time sidestepping things. That is a big problem. But it's, I mean, he does have panic moves and he can jump around, so it's like he doesn't really need a good sidestep, but that is something to keep in mind of. And again, he needs really good execution. Next is Alisa. Amazing pokes. Very, very good lockdown. She can get in on you whenever she wants. This character overall is a very, very poking oriented, also plus party mode kind of character. And honestly, I hate this character. Her poking is amazing, and even her party mode playstyle is so annoying to deal with because of her chainsaws. Her chainsaws alone are just so ridiculously over the top, in my opinion. They really need to nerf her chainsaws, nerf the frames on them or something. But the thing that really makes her good is that she's just so easy. She's so easy to play. She has amazing get-in tools. Her poking and pressure is amazing. Her full crouch down for 1+2, fuck that low. Her tracking, you can't really sidestep her because her standing forward is just such an amazing homing move. The only thing with her that I could say is lacking is combo damage. Her combo damage is a little bit lacking, but again, she doesn't really need good combo damage. She doesn't need that. She's more of a poking-oriented character, but you can also play her very party mode. Very annoying character to deal with. Very annoying. Paul. Do I need to say anything about Paul? His damage alone is broken. His block punishment is one of the best in the game. His down forward 2 is broken in my opinion. Core circle back 4, god tier move. Death fist, core circle back 2. That's kind of like a safe kind of death fist, except it does less damage. He has core circle 4-3. That low is super good in this game. Only minus 14 on block. Used to be launch punishable on tag 2. Don't know why they changed it. The Demo Man is so easy to do now. I mean, he has a complete throw game. I mean, yeah, this character is dumb as shit. Really dumb. The only thing that I could say is a little bit that isn't the best with him is his range stuff. When he is out at range, there isn't a whole lot he can really threaten you with because he does become very linear at that range. You can step a lot of his stuff. And his Demo Man is only really used at close range. If you're far away, Demo Man will never be a threat. Same thing with the grabs. Never be a threat. But then he has core circle 4-3 and sidestep 3, which are amazing low pokes. His pokes aren't the best, but again, he doesn't need good pokes. He doesn't need a good down forward one. His down forward one is actually pretty annoying with that back sway mix-up he has and the extensions it's got. And his wall game, oh yeah, let's not talk about his damn wall game. His rage stuff is some of the best in the game. The rage cancel, the blue death fist. This character got so much going on with him. The only thing I could say is hard about him is his core circle forward and core circle back motions. That does take a little bit of execution to get that stuff out quickly. But other than that, this character is so easy. And he's so strong. Ridiculous character. Steve. This might be a shocker to some people. Some people actually might put Steve in A as of right now because of that nerf he got to his down 4-2. But I still think Steve is super good. He's super safe. His combo damage is amazing. He has very good pressure, good oppressive frames and offense. He has a guard break to break a turtle. You know? His rage drive is one of the best in the game. I don't know why he needed that. He didn't. And his counter hits. His counter hits are still ridiculously stupid. But if let's say they're not pushing buttons, again, you have the guard break. If they want to sit and, just want to block all day. That was one of Steve's biggest problems in Tag 2, was breaking a turtle. But now he can do that. Like, this character is still ridiculously good. Sure, they did nerf his down forward too, but it's like, you can still combo from it, but you need to have god tier execution. So people just can't really tier whore with him anymore, which is good. I like that. And there was something else I forgot to mention, I think. Oh yeah, he kind of has an orbital now with his up forward too. Even though it is minus 14 on block, it's also nice to have. It's much better than his old up forward 2. His old up forward 2 was awful. Awful, terrible hitbox, and it was super slow. And I would say weaknesses with him is his lows and throws are a little bit lacking. They're not super scary outside of down back 3-2, but again, you have to be at really close range for that to hit because it has no range. But again, he doesn't need good lows. His mids and counter hits are already super good, and his highs. Oh yeah, and his tracking is stupid. You can't really sidestep the character. You can't step him, basically. He tracks like a motherfucker for some reason. So yeah, Steve, very powerful. Leroy and Fakaram. Do I need to say anything about these characters? Both these characters are still a huge problem. I mean, Leroy, what do I say? Character literally has everything. He has everything. And everything you need as a character. Even with the nerfs that this man received, he is still busted, in my opinion. He is still a completely busted character. I mean, you can't step, you can't backdash, you can't really push buttons on him because of the parry and his counter hits. You can't really turtle him. It's like, you basically have to guess versus Leroy, which is never fun. He still has some of the most bullshit moves in the whole game. Orbital, down 3-2, back 4, hell sweep. His parry is still god tier. Back 1+2 is still super annoying. He has so many just amazing moves. I can't really find a weakness for him. I really can't. Oh yeah, and his Pimp Cane, he basically has a second rage drive that can hit whenever he wants, even though you can only use it one time. It's still amazing. This character has everything. Like, I really do not see a weakness in Leroy. And he's so easy. He's literally pick up and play. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but this character carries people. I hate this character. And he's gonna get nerfed. It's guaranteed. Fakaram, same thing. Just super piss easy. His range is ridiculously stupid. His movement was kind of broken as well, but luckily they did nerf it in the recent update. So thank God they did that, but he's still incredibly strong. His damage hasn't been touched outside of 3+4 and down 4-3. His combo damage just in general is still super high. His punishment is still super good. His mix-ups are still god tier. You still can't really step him. It's like, I don't know. He also just has a lot of stupid shit, in my opinion. Now, he is weaker. Like, again, you can't really move like crazy with him anymore. But, again, does he need good movement? He absolutely does not need good movement. And he has pretty decent counter hit tools as well. I mean, yeah, Fakaram, just, yeah. Oh, yeah, let's not talk about his guard break at the wall and his back forward 4 and while running 3. Yeah, that's fun to deal with. Yeah, fuck Fakaram. Marduk, damage monster. I mean, he's basically a scrub killer. This guy's damage is off the charts. His tackle is ridiculously stupid. His rage drive needs to be nerfed. His grabs alone are brain dead in my opinion. His lows are ridiculously stupid. Like Gigas, for example. Terrible character. He has a down back 2, right? That's +4, I think, on hit, or +3. And -14 on block. And on counter, it gives you a knockdown for a free follow-up. Marduk has the same move, +5 on hit, -12 on block, and on counter, it does 60 plus damage and 4 breaks on Forgotten Realm. I don't understand, like, why can't Gigas have something like that? If Gigas had that, that would already make him better. But no. It's like, I don't know, man. His 50-50s are bullshit as well. And let's not talk about his damn Oki. This man's Oki is the best in the game. He has the best Oki in the game. It's like, if you try to backwards stand up, most of the time down for 1's gonna clip you. And if you want to stay on the ground, that's fine. He can stomp you. Or he can do his ridiculously stupid ground throws that do 1,000,000 damage. And one of them, he'll throw you back in the air and you get a full combo. I talked about the tackle. He has some stupid mids, down back 2, up 4-3. The down 4-3 series is really good. Back 2 is a good move, good tracking move. I mean, and his jab strings are super annoying. The only thing with Marduk that is lacking, in my opinion, is his wall standing punishment. That's it. His wall standing punishment, I will say, is trash. I will say that. So, the main weakness with Marduk is you can abuse certain lows on him. You can definitely abuse certain lows on him that normally are that can be launch punishable. And he won't be able to launch you. That is something you can keep in mind against a Marduk player. If you can spam those certain lows on him, even though they can be low parried, obviously, but yeah. Fuck this character. Just, yeah. And he's so easy, too. There's no execution going into a Marduk, except maybe the VTS cancels. That's it. Other than that, this character has no work, in my opinion. Julia, also god tier character. Also basically has everything. Again, this is another character I can't find weaknesses for. She can come at you whenever she wants. Her approach moves are some of the best in the game, in my opinion. Her mids, her low pokes are great. She has solid throws. She has an amazing dumb bullshit full crouch mix-up. And what's with her combos? Her combos are like some of the most insane in the game. The wall travel she gets with like she will carry you wall to wall basically if you're fighting a good Julia player. So yeah, her damage is ridiculous. Her wall game, fuck you. Her 4-4-1, fuck that move. Her down 4-1 mix-ups are I can't stand those mix-ups. It's like, now I will say this, Julia is technical to play. She's not easy. She is harder than Alyssa, but it's like once you get the execution, this character is a complete fucking monster. Complete monster. I honestly do feel robbed sometimes when I do lose to Julia players. Even though I understand she's hard. It's like, I hate her more than Hordong. To be honest, I'd rather fight a Hordong player than fight Julia. Like, that's how much I hate Julia. It is what it is, in my personal opinion. The only thing I could say that's a problem with her is her 12 frame punish. She doesn't really have a good 12 frame punish. I think that's like the only weakness I can really find for her. Other than that, this character is just a complete monster. Complete monster. And that's S tier. Now let's go to A tier. Kazuya. Super good 50-50s. Super amazing combo damage. This character overall is just super strong. 4-4, down back 4, hell sweep, 4-4-3 electric. Has so many he has a lot of very, very solid tools. His block punishment is some of the best in the game. His block punishment is super good. Even though he doesn't have a 15-frame launcher outside the electric, which takes execution. But once you have that, his punishment is ridiculously strong. And he's just a super good defensive character. Very, very solid. If you fight against a good Kazuya player, you are going to have a hard time. This character, if you're fighting against someone who does have super good execution fundamentals, Kazuya is super strong. Super strong. I don't know if I would put him in S tier, though. He is very vulnerable to sidestep left, even though he has that bullshit electric. He does choke under pressure. His pressure himself is not very good. So you can rush down a Kazuya player, but he is still very, very powerful in a good player's hands. In a very good player's hands, this character destroys certain people. Hordong. I hate Hordong. I really do. I've gotten to like him a little bit more because I have been playing him a little bit. And I can kind of see that he is difficult to play, but he still has some bullshit stuff. His pressure is ridiculous, even though he is known for it. His power crushes are some of the best in the game. His combo damage is ridiculous. He actually has some panic moves in this game. That was one of Hordong's weaknesses. He didn't have a good panic move in previous games, but now he does with the back one, his parry he got, that basically stole that from Baek. And he's actually probably going to get a hop kick for Season 4. So he actually has some okay panic moves now. And, and let's talk about his throws. His throws, he has an amazing throw game. His 2-grab alone is insanely powerful. I still don't know why they haven't nerfed it yet. I don't know why it still gives a guaranteed back turn 4 afterwards. Doesn't make sense to me. He's overall just very powerful. Very, very strong character. He is hard, though. He's not easy to play. You do need to know what moves to use, and you need execution. But again, in a good player's hands, Hordong is, again, a monster character. And he can destroy certain people who are not very familiar with the character. Devil Jin. In Season 2 and 1, easily S tier. Now, even though he got a big nerf on his up forward 4, that was a big, big deal. So Devil Jin actually, I would say, has a weakness now where he doesn't have a super brain-dead powerful mid anymore. Even though up forward 4 I still think is a decent move. He's also a very all-around character. Has great punishment, great mids, great lows, great 50-50. His hell sweep is so bullshit. I think they need to nerf it again. His combo damage, especially with the back 2-1, yeah, that's something. And again, you can't really sidestep him because of laser cannon. And 444. And 442, great move. Electric has that. Has a complete throw game just like Jin. Yeah, very, very, another very all-round character. Very all-round. He is weaker now, but he's still a powerhouse. Especially with the new back 2-1 he got. That's incredibly powerful. Dragunov, ridiculous rushdown. His mids are some of the most intimidating in the game, in my opinion, with running 2, back 1+2. Those 2 mids alone are crazy. Corsical 4-1, insane launcher. Down 2, amazing low. Has great strings. His poking is not the best, but he has great rush now, so he doesn't really need it. His wall game is insanely powerful. His throw game is incredibly good. One of the best grapplers in the game. And his combo damage and his combos overall are very good. They did nerf his combos during the middle of season 3, because before that, this character had some of the most overpowered combos in the beginning of season 3's lifespan. But they did nerf it, so you can't really do that stuff anymore, but his combo damage is still very good. And has great wall travel. And he's not very hard to play. The only thing that's hard with him really is the raw running 2. That's it. Other than that, this character is super, super strong. Super strong. But only in the right player's hands. But yeah, he's really oppressive. Very oppressive character. Lol, another character that I feel has basically everything. Very, very versatile. His pressure is amazing. His defense is good. His block punishment is crazy good. Combo damage is pretty good. His wall damage is ridiculous. His frames are insanely good. He has some decent throws. His lows are good. His full crouch mix-up is stupidly good. 4-1+2, great, powerful, plus on block mid, counter hit launcher. Has good tracking moves. Decent strings. Overall, this character is also very powerful. Very powerful. His 2+4-4, why haven't they not severely nerfed that move yet? That is one of the most ridiculously easy whiff punishers in the game. And it's 14 frames and hits from almost across the stage. That move alone, it's like, did Law need that? He was already super good in Tag 2. Did he need that? Absolutely not. Insanely good character. He is hard though. Again, the DSS, very hard to master that. But once you master that, again, his frames just become out of the roof good. His Magic 4 is also one of the best in the game as well. Very, 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 very solid character. Brian, another very powerful character. His counter hit tools, his keep out is amazing. His tracking moves are some of the best in the game. His hatchet kick is incredibly good right now. His combo damage is incredible as well. His taunt can break a turtle. His wall game is also just, if you can do the taunt, his wall game is one of the best in the game, basically. Overall, just very powerful. Very, very solid character. Brian is such a beast in the right hands. But again, another very, very complicated character. Really hard to play. You need really high execution. Very high execution. And his orbital is it's a classic move, but it's super good. 3+4, god tier move. 4-3, great counter hit move. Hatchet kick, I talked about that. His down for 1 series is great. 4-4-4, ridiculous move. Yeah, Brian's got a lot of good shit. But again, he is complicated. Leo, I don't know a shitload about Leo, but I do know that he is another very, very solid, versatile character. His mix-ups are incredibly annoying to deal with. His lows are very good. He has some decent mids. His back 1-4 is a ridiculous move. His orbital I still think is good, even though they nerfed it for Season 2. Combo damage is pretty solid. And overall, just a very, very solid package. Corsical 4-1 is also a good move too. That's a good low. And Corsical 4-2 and 2-1, the mix-ups. And his block punishment, I think it's pretty good, isn't it? Again, I'm not the best Leo expert here, but I think that he's a very, very complete character. Very complete. Oh yeah, and he has a really good hell sweep as well. That's nice to have, especially in this game where you can't really move that well, unless you're Zoff, you know. King, just this character is insane in this game. I mean, he also is quite versatile. He has great mids. His throws are basically the best in the game. His combo damage is monstrous. His 441, oh my fucking god, that move is so good. His lows are not the best, but they've gotten better. Like, he has Armor King's down 3. 4-4 neutral 2 is a great low. Down back 3 can be good in the right usage, even though it is a risky low, it's launch punishable. He has Snake Edge that's only -12, even though it is very slow. His block punishment is overall great in my opinion. He has good counter hit tools. He has good tracking moves like forward 4, forward 1, so you can't really step him that well. 2-1 is a really good poke. Down back 2 is a safe launcher, even though it is a little slow. His hop kick is really good. Yeah, this guy is really strong. Really, really good in this game. They've like buffed the shit out of him for this game compared to Tag 2. This is a whole different king. A whole different king, basically, compared to Tag 2 and Tekken 6 King. Really good. Oh, yeah, and his Rage Drive. Yeah, it has so much. It's so versatile. It can be used in a lot of situations. Really good. Kazumi. I think Kazumi is also very good. Has some of the best fundamental tools in the game. That alone can really carry you very far if you're a very strong fundamental player. Down 4-1, down back 4, back 2. Her jab strings are great. 2-1 I think is a good move. 3-2 is a good whiff punish. Down 4-2, even though it's risky, can be used as a whiff punish or as a panic move. Her combo damage isn't bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad at all. And yeah, overall, Kazumi is really the fundamental character of Tekken. You do need very good fundamentals, but once you have those fundamentals, this character is insanely powerful. You don't need to use that many moves with Kazumi to play her well. Shaheen, kind of like Kazumi when it comes to fundamental kind of character. Super strong fundamentals, super good fundamentals. His down 4-1 is great. His down 3 is a good low. Down 4 is a decent low. Back 3 is a good move. Back 1 is a good move. His Magic 4... Oh, yeah, and Kazumi's Magic 4 is also hella good as well. I didn't mention that. But Sheen also has a solid Magic 4, even though they did nerf it. Still good. Has good wall travel. His damage overall is not bad. His full crouch... He has a full crouch mix-up, kind of like Law. Super powerful. Has an orbital, like Brian. Overall, extremely solid. Down back 2-1. Oh, yeah, that move is very good, too. His overall block punishment is also very good. Kind of like Kazumi, great block punishment. Even though I keep missing a lot of shit, but I forgot to mention that Kazumi's hop kick, though, I will admit, is one of the worst in the game. Her hop kick is awful. No range. No range at all. That is a decent problem when it comes to Kazumi's punishment in the later frames. Like at -15. But Sheen also has a hella good hop kick. His hop kick is one of the best in the game, outside of maybe Claudio's. But yeah, very solid character. Very solid fundamental kind of character. Geese. Some people might put Geese in S tier, and I wouldn't blame them for that. I mean, this character's damage alone just is broken. I think it's broken again. They need to nerf his damage again like they did in Season 2. His fundamental tools are incredibly powerful. His down 4-1 is very good. He has great counter hit tools. Standing 4, down 4-2, incredible. His wall standing 1 is another incredible counter hit tool. His dick jab, the dick jab into 4-1 was nerfed, thank God, because that move was ridiculous. But it does still counter it into dick jab into 4-3, which I think is great. And it can still wall splat. His wall travel is arguably the best in the game. I mean, no matter where you are on the stage, he will wall travel you if he hits that standing 2 on you. It just travels so far. And then you're going to get to the wall, million damage, and then he gets god tier wall pressure. I'm sorry, but that is just incredibly powerful. His meter stuff is just overall just super, super, super good. Now, the thing with Geese that I will say is lacking is his range. He does have pretty solid range problems. So as long as you're trying to keep him away, Geese will have issues. Even though he does have a Reppuken, that's nice to have, which can make them get in at times. But yeah, his pressure, his frames, even though they did nerf it, still really good. His fucking wall travel, his damage, just insanely good. And he has his sidestep 3. Fuck that low. That low is ridiculous. +6 on hit, -12 counter hit launcher. Yeah, insanely good. And if they think you're gonna sidestep, then you could do sidestep into down 4-1, sidestep into any other mid you want. And back 3-2, insanely good move. Insanely good with meter. Overall, Geese is also a powerhouse. And I don't blame Namco if they nerf him again. But yeah, you can argue him being S tier. But I decided to drop him down a tier because of the range problems. And by the way, guys, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about characters through S and A as of right now. And then in the next video, I'll talk about characters from A- down to B-. That's probably what I'm going to do just to keep these videos not from going too long. So we'll talk about the next 3 and then I'll take a break. Zafina, super good movement. She has pretty solid fundamental tools. She's a very confusion kind of based character. Her wall damage is incredibly high. Overall, she is, yeah. I don't know a shitload about Zafina, but I know she's a very powerful character. Her movement alone is incredibly good. Now I think her movement is back to being the best in the game because they nerf fuck ROMs. So yeah, Zafina's movement is now basically like tag 2, basically. Her pokes, again, are amazing. Her low pokes are really good. Her mix-ups are very solid. They're not bad at all. And her damage isn't bad either. Yeah, she is really good in this game compared to how she was. Because in Tag 2, she was garbage tier. But here, they buffed the shit out of her. Which she needed, though. She needed buffs. And then we got Negan. Super, kind of like Dragunov, very good rush down character. He has very impressive moves, impressive frames on a lot of his tools. Back 1+2, really good move. 4-4-4, very impressive on block. His mids are great, and he has good low pokes. Down back 4 is a good low poke. Down back 2, making that low -14 was a big deal. No longer launch punishable. That's amazing. His back 3 is good at the wall because it's only -12 and +5. Kind of like Geese's sidestep 3, but I wouldn't say quite as good. Not quite as good. But yeah, overall, Negan is just very impressive. And his combo damage and wall carry is very good. And it's super easy to do. No execution. And that's another thing with Negan. He's very easy. Very easy to play. Anyone can play Negan, which is always nice. And 1-2-2 in the back. Yeah. Kiss your life bar goodbye. That's really powerful. And overall, his punishment is incredibly really good. Like his wall stunning 1-2, 12 frame, does a lot of damage into intimidation at +7. That is super good. And his intimidation stance is super good now. He has basically everything from that. He has mids, a plus on block mid, a backlash, an unbreakable throw, a low, a big class 1 launcher, a quick 1-2 option. His push is great. Excuse me. Overall, Negan is very good right now. Very good. Way better compared to how he was in Season 2. And then the final character I'm going to talk about in this video is Ganryu. This character is very oppressive. Kind of like with Negan and Dragunov. His frames at close range are incredibly good. His new pressure stance is incredibly powerful, especially with that fucking stomp he has from there that gives you +9 frame advantage and -12 on block. And then he has an unblockable from there that he drops super low, runs at you, and basically it's like getting hit by a rage drive, like Paul's Death Fist. Splash you from a mile away. He has really strong tech traps. His combo damage is really high if you have very good execution. And yeah, he's just super good. And no one knows the matchup. No one knows how to fight Ganryu. No one plays him. I think he's the least played character in the game right now. So yeah, people can really take advantage of his bullshit that he has. Now, he does have range problems, though, so that is what's holding him back. But once he gets in your face, yeah, you're done. He will kill you. Oh yeah, and his backswing blow, that move is stupid. It's -14 on block, but it has so much evasive properties. And turns the opponent around on hit, on normal hit, by the way, and it's a mix-up. You'll either do 2-1-2, in the back if they try to hold backwards, and if they hold down back, you can do down forward too. And they both launch. It's a 50-50 mix-up. That move is incredibly powerful, especially with people who don't know the matchup. You basically die. His down 1 plus 2 is incredibly good. His down 4-3 is one of the best low pokes in the game, in my opinion. Down 4-2 plus 3 is a really good low near the wall. It kind of reminds me of Leo's old down 4-2 plus 3 in Season 1. It reminds me of that a little bit. His wall game is incredibly powerful. His back 1 plus 2 is a pretty good panic move. Counter hit gives you a guaranteed 4-3 plus 4 on hit. And wall splats on normal hit. And 10 frames. His jab, even though it is 12 frames, it's plus 3 on block. That's incredibly good. His frames are overall very oppressive. He's a very oppressive character. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very strong character. Very strong. And that's all the characters I want to talk about as of right now in the S and A plus tier. It was supposed to be A plus, but I forgot to put the plus, but it's basically A plus. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about characters that are A minus, B plus, and B minus tier. So, look forward to that. Thank you everyone for stopping by. This is Falcon. Catch y'all in the next tier list video.